What does it take to survive the impossible? Not a car accident, not a close call. We're talking about falling from 10,000 meters with no parachute, being struck by lightning 7 times, having a particle beam pass through your skull, being cut in half by a train, and living to tell the story. These are 4 real people, 4 cases that doctors, scientists, and physicists still struggle to explain. This is Exhibit a Crime. Let's open the case files. January 26, 1972, JAT Yugoslav Airlines. Flight 367 was cruising at 10,160 meters over Czechoslovakia. Then, a bomb exploded in the cargo hold. The aircraft broke apart mid-air. 28 people were on board. 27 of them died instantly, either from the explosion or from the fall. 1 person survived. Vesna Vulović was a 22-year-old flight attendant. She fell over 10 kilometers, trapped inside a section of the fuselage, with no parachute, no seat, nothing. She hit the ground, and she lived. She suffered a fractured skull, 3 broken vertebrae, 2 broken legs, and was in a coma for 27 days. But she woke up. When she regained consciousness, her first question was, "Can I have a cigarette?" Doctors believe the section of fuselage she was trapped in acted like a crude cushion on impact. The freezing temperatures may have slowed her heart rate, reducing bleeding. But in truth, no one fully understands why Vesna Vulović survived. She holds the Guinness World Record for surviving the highest fall without a parachute. She lived until 2016. She was 66 years old. Roy Sullivan was a park ranger in Virginia, USA. Between 1942 and 1977, he was struck by lightning 7 times. 7. Each time he survived. First strike, lost a toenail. Second, eyebrows burned off. Third, left shoulder seared. Fourth, hair caught fire. Fifth, hair caught fire again, lost an eyelash. Sixth, ankle injured. Seventh, stomach and chest burned. The odds of being struck by lightning once in your lifetime are roughly 1 in 15,000. The odds of being struck 7 times? Mathematically, essentially impossible. Meteorologists and scientists studied Sullivan for years. Some theories suggested his height, his profession spending long hours outdoors, the geography of Shenandoah National Park. But none of these explanations fully account for 7 strikes. Sullivan himself believed he was cursed. He kept the ranger hats he wore during 4 of the strikes, each one with a hole burned through the top. Roy Sullivan died in 1983, not from lightning. The case of the human lightning rod remains one of the most statistically inexplicable events in recorded history. July 13, 1978, Protvino, Russia. Anatoli Bugorski was a 36-year-old Soviet physicist working at the U-70 synchrotron, one of the most powerful particle accelerators in the world. He leaned into the machine to check a piece of faulty equipment. The safety mechanisms had failed. A beam of protons, moving at nearly the speed of light, passed directly through his head, entering through the back of his skull, exiting through his nose. He said he saw a flash brighter than anything he had ever seen, but felt no pain. Doctors expected him to die within days. He didn't. He lost hearing in his left ear. The left side of his face was paralyzed and stopped aging, while the right side aged normally. He suffered occasional seizures, but his intellect remained completely intact. He went on to complete his PhD. He continued working as a scientist. The proton beam had delivered a radiation dose that was, by all medical understanding at the time, fatal. Bugorski survived because the beam was so narrow and so fast that it passed through before his cells could fully register the damage. He is the only known person in history to have survived a direct particle beam through the brain. As of the time of this recording, Anatoli Bugorski is still alive. June 2006. Cleburne, Texas. Truman Duncan was a railroad worker. He slipped while trying to board a moving train. He fell under the wheels. The train cut through his body, severing him completely at the pelvis. His upper body was dragged 100 meters down the track. By any measure, this was not survivable. But Truman Duncan was conscious. He reached for his phone and called 911 himself. He remained conscious for 45 minutes until paramedics arrived. He lost both legs, one kidney, and his pelvis. He underwent 23 surgeries over the following months, and he survived. Doctors said his survival was due to a combination of the train's speed, which cauterized the wounds, and Duncan's extraordinary physiological response to trauma. Today, Truman Duncan is alive, married, and has spoken publicly about his experience. He said the first thing he thought about when he was lying on those tracks was his children. Which story shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe for a new case file every week.